Welcome to another installment of the Goddess Keys, where we unleash and unlock the tools and the jewels to support you with the remembrance of who you are as God, Goddess in form. And on today's small segment, we're going to talk about the silver ray and how you can utilize the silver ray for your energetic protection, for dissolving cords of attachment, for also purifying your dream space of any ill intentions or any misalignment of dreams. Yes, this happens all the time in the unconscious realm. And for anybody who's worked with me one-on-one, y'all already know how we are always playing with color, visualizing color, and divining through color. You can actually learn a lot about your spiritual path and what might need to be retrieved on your journey based upon color rays. If you're able to perceive color when you meditate, what sort of colors are you perceiving? Which ones are difficult for you to retrieve? This in itself provides you with a great deal of information of what might need to be worked with on your ascension path. And today in particular, we're going to discuss the silver ray, which is one of the rays that are really supporting us with our ascension path at this time. It's actually the silver ray and the gold ray. And a few segments back, I did a quick download about the gold ray and how it is the embodiment of love. And one thing about the gold ray that I didn't mention in those downloads is that it represents the feminine principle. Meanwhile, the silver ray represents the masculine principle. Yes, I know you haven't heard this before. I actually know that many of y'all have heard the exact opposite, that the silver ray is supposed to represent the feminine and the gold ray is supposed to represent the divine masculine. Y'all have to remember this false matrix system that we've been indoctrinated in, that we are deprogramming ourselves out of, is based upon many inversions. Okay, a lot of times up is down and black is white in the false matrix system. The silver ray represents the masculine principle. The gold ray represents the feminine principle. And the gold ray is coming back onto the planet at this time. And the silver ray is something that we're going to hear about more and more. You know, the silver ray was something that started coming to me a couple years ago, and it was really difficult for me to find information about it. And that's because it's really been under lock and key for a really long time. And that's been because of its power, its protective power. Okay. I actually want you to think about colloidal silver. If you are a spiritual seeker and find a lot of value in homeopathic remedies, it's very likely that you have heard of colloidal silver or that you are utilizing colloidal silver. But one interesting thing is when you Google colloidal silver, a lot of times some of the first things that you'll see is how it's a hoax and how it doesn't work. And there's like a lot of information that's put into debunking colloidal silver, even though it's supposed to be antiviral, even though it works with a multitude of ways, or which has been my experience and many other people's. By the way, I'm not a doctor or a medical professional. This is just for entertainment purposes only. But I go down that path around colloidal silver because the power of silver is there, and you can actually see it if you study colloidal silver. And if you utilize colloidal silver, it's a really good time to use it right now as the seasons change and all of that. The same kind of protective properties, if you have found value in colloidal silver, you can find that with the silver ray. And it's very protective. I want you to think about the knight in shining armor, right? You know, a lot of times we talk about, like, a lot of femme-identified folks will have this or had this perception of the masculine being the knight in shining armor. And in some way there's some validity in that. And that's really what the silver ray is here to represent. It's really here to actually restore honor on planet Earth. And honor has been something that has been very much missing for a really long time on this planet. If you even think about the knight in shining armor, what is one thing that a knight represents? A lot of times a knight represents honor. There's always little pearls of truth, little pearls of wisdom in different like fairy tales and all of that you can find. And when you think about the silver ray, I actually want you to think about the knight in shining honor. Okay, instead of armor, replace that with honor, because the silver ray represents honor. And what does that mean? What does it mean to represent honor? And how can honor be a protective talisman on your journey in ascension? Okay, well, honor is not just about how we regard others. Honor has a lot to do with how we regard ourselves, okay? And one thing, if you are waking up from the false matrix system and you're reclaiming your power from it, one thing that you're constantly healing from on your journey is the ways in which you have not honored yourself, the way others have not honored you, and the way you may have not honored other living species, whether they be humans, plants, animals. A lot of what we're doing as we heal karma and we balance the scales is we also take accountability for our own actions and the actions of our ancestry and the ways in which we may have fallen out of alignment with honoring not just ourselves, but also the planet as a whole. Okay. So the silver ray is very protective, but you kind of have to work for it. Okay. The first thing you need to do is to deconstruct all of the ways that you were conditioned to not honor yourself, to not honor your dreams, the ways in which your destiny was swapped in the unconscious, the ways your dreams were swapped in the unconscious, the way that you may have been subconsciously programmed to sacrifice yourself to your detriment. Okay. All of that needs to be deprogrammed, unearthed, and healed and forgiven. Okay. And this is a process, but once you really start restoring honor back in your field, and it starts with you reclaiming honor of your own self and your own divinity, and recognizing and remembering that you are God, Goddess in form, then you're going to start noticing that your outer world begins to shift as well, and that the people that you're calling into your reality and the experiences that you're calling into your reality begin to mirror that honor back onto you. Okay. Now, in the unconscious realms, the silver ray can also support us with dissolving cords of attachment, unearthing certain karmic agreements, a lot of ways of extreme lawlessness, extreme disregard, dishonor for cosmic law, how that may have been playing out within your field. And it can support you with restoring honor on an energetic level. Okay. And so I'm going to go into this in a lot more depth on Patreon this month. We're going to be doing a lot of work around reversals. I'm still kind of playing with the title of what this month's theme is, but it's something around the effect of the ultimate reversal spell. Okay. And so a big piece of exiting the false matrix is reversing everything that you've learned, that you were programmed with, and deprogramming that, and uncrossing yourself, taking yourself off of the cross, reversing all of the spell work that the false matrix indoctrinated you with in order to keep you out of your power. So it's going to be really fun. We're going to have a lot of different topics. If you're interested in learning more about that, then you can actually check the community board. I'll have a list of all the different stuff that we're going to cover. I'm still kind of thinking through it right now, but within the next day, I'll have the just kind of like what the topics are going to be. And I'll put that in the community board. Also, thank you for everybody who has been joining the Patreon. Also, the gratitude tier folks, the folks who are giving to support the sustainability of these messages. That's great. I would do it regardless, just because this is what I'm here to do. And I really appreciate being poured into. So thank you for everybody who is pouring into this work as well. And welcome to folks who are joining at the Galactic Goddess support tier on Patreon, and also the holographic rose as well. This was formerly known as the galactic black rose, but I have recently changed it to the holographic rose. And I give a little bit more context on Patreon for why I'm doing that. Moving more into holographic state of knowing, more into a state of wholeness. We're still doing a great deal of shadow work, but we're doing it from more of a state of wholeness. And so the holographic rose fits this just a little bit more than the first iteration of that tier, which was the galactic black rose. So if you are interested in some tangible tools to support you on this very nebulous path of energetic protection, psychic protection, ancestral healing, then check out what's going on the Patreon. One tangible tool, regardless of whether or not you join or not, because you can obviously reclaim your power on your own terms, however and whenever that works for you. So for anybody out there who's listening, I just want to give you a tool to support you with incorporating the silver ray in your reality. So start streaming all of your scheduling, your dreams, your goals with the silver ray. Okay, incorporate more silver into your life and be really intentional that each thing that you incorporate that represents silver in your reality is restoring honor into your life and into your field. Okay, and you can enchant the different objects that you bring that are of a silver frequency or vibration with the frequency of absolute honor. But remember that honor starts with you. You can't be demanding honor from everybody else and you're not honoring yourself. It has to start with you first. That's how the silver ray works. It's going to work inwardly before it gets to your external reality. Okay. So it does take a great deal of reversing a lot of the conditioning that you were taught around basically how you had to dishonor yourself in order to get ahead or survive in the false matrix. All of that has to be purged out for you to effectively work with the silver ray, okay? But infuse silver into whatever practices that you're doing at this time. And consider incorporating colloidal silver into your health and wellness regimen. Colloidal silver has a variety of different benefits, and it also supports you with your mindset development, cultivating a mindset that transcends polarity. On that same token, I would actually get some colloidal gold and colloidal silver and think of it more as something that's just sustaining your physical body, but is also sustaining your consciousness and getting you more into that magnetic frequency, because the frequencies of silver and gold represent the magnetism that we're moving into and that we're ascending into on this planet. Okay. So stream as much as you can with silver. And then for any kind of cord cutting that you do or anything like that, be sustained through the silver ray. Through this particular path. Okay. So if you are interested in learning more about how to reclaim your power, and if you're seeking some more direct guidance and some direct support from somebody, then I am still offering some coaching packages, more so at this point within the 3-month to 9-month range. I'm also launching a new coaching program, which is going to start in 2025, and it's an immersive 1-year coaching journey, which includes a one-on-one retreat with me as well. And this is for us to go really, really deep into your ancestral healing. And we co-create this retreat together based upon a particular part of your ancestral lineage that needs to be healed. This is kind of moving into the work that I'm doing as it relates to genetic path cutting, and I'll be sharing some more details around the genetic path cutting journey. But it's a very select, it's like a very tailored offering that I'm offering to folks starting in 2025. So this has to be in pure alignment and magnetism. So you'll know if this is for you just based upon how this message is resonating on a somatic level. Okay. But this would be a very deep dive 12-month coaching journey with a one-on-one 1 week retreat with me. Okay. So I used to plan lots of group retreats, but I'm really called to work with people more on a one-on-one basis outside of the work that I do with the offerings on Patreon. I feel like my sweet spot right now is going really deep with folks one-on-one. And I want to take this to the next level and do something in person, but I'm not quite desiring to do that in a group yet, to be quite honest. But I love planning retreats. I love traveling, and I love the work that I do. So I would love to make this offering, but do so more in a tailored kind of approach. So if this is something that is sounding interesting to you, then reach out to me and I'll share more details about that. More content to come, specifically around protecting your energy and making your energetic field impervious to manipulation. Okay, that's the vibes that we're going into for the rest of this year. As we get more into the fall and autumn, the vibes just feel right for that. Thank you all so much for being here. Sending you so much love, joy, peace, and abundance. Until we meet again. Bye, y'all.